The Rock's in a disaster movie with a lot of earthquakes. This is why. I have a theory that every time The Rock flexes, the fault line just goes, and now we're here, because it's happened again. San Andreas. So San Andreas is a disaster movie starring everyone's favorite wedding officiant. The San Andreas Fault is finally doing what Lex Luthor was trying to make it do in the first Superman movie. Little did he know he had to wait 30-something years and he'd do it naturally, and he could have just saved himself the cost of a nuke. So all this shit's happening, and California's trying to make Otisville, and now The Rock needs to get to his daughter. It's a father trying to get to his kid, and the family's trying to unite among a huge disaster, so I was thinking about it. This movie is a more interesting version of The Day After Tomorrow with less snow and more earthquake. I mean, in a movie like this, you want the effects to look good, because that's what's gonna pull you into it. You're like, oh shit, it's like it's really happening. The first thing that happens in this movie is this car goes over a precipice, and it's just flipping up and over itself, and I was like, well, that looks terrible. Hopefully it doesn't all look like that. Some does. Some effects actually look really good. It's like a mix. It's like the special effects were done by two different people in this movie. I'm gonna get to what I liked about it. First of all, I love The Rock, because he's good. He's like a likable guy. He has that sunny smile, and you're like, you know what? You're the biggest, beefiest, awesome kid ever. Go save the day, Dad. The rest of the movie's pretty generic. In this movie, it's pretty much like the earthquakes are going up the San Andreas Fault, and they're just getting worse and worse and worse every time. Why? Well, because we need a movie called San Andreas, dude. Don't think about it. Just roll with it. The script, the lines in this movie. Holy shit. There's this one scene. Paul Giamatti learns that this stuff is going to happen. Someone's like, who should we call? And he's like, everybody. It's exactly what I would think a movie like this would have. We're just not prepared for the cheesiness when it's delivered. Now, what this movie suffers from is ultimately what Day After Tomorrow did suffer from also, and 2012, and even Independence Day, is that it tries to concentrate on character after the really cool shit's happened, so you have this downswing, this downtime where you're like, oh, it's kind of boring now. And you need character development, especially in a movie like this if you're gonna care about the characters, but it's such a hard balance to find among a movie that's just about destroying shit, to then go, oh, hey, here's some well-written stuff for the characters. Yeah, this is so you care later on. There's one disaster movie in recent memory that I can think of that did it well, and that's Titanic. Titanic is totally a disaster movie for you naysayers out there, and I think it's a good movie for you other naysayers out there. Seriously, that's it. That's just kind of a byproduct of a disaster movie, is that most all of them have that downswing where it's like, yeah, you know how to write disaster, you just don't know how to write good character development. And some consistency would be great too. There's this one scene, you saw the scene in the trailer with this huge tsunami, and it was awesome. Not in that awesome kind of way, but it was just so big and intimidating and scary. I was like, that's well done. And it's just destroying a bunch of stuff, and then our main characters have to deal with it, and then just after seeing everything get wiped out, in the impact of this wave where it was like, oh God, hold on, and then it's just like, oh, that's a really inconvenient wave of water. Just hold on, we'll get through it. I was like, well, you guys should be dead. Guys, in the end, San Andreas had a lot of what I was going into the movie for, but it did suffer from what I'm probably gonna end up calling from now on disaster movie-itis. These people know how to make great destruction on screen, but then they try to make the movie a little deeper and have deeper characters, and it just ends up blowing up in their face because they don't know how to do it. Make no mistake, it has a lot of fun in it, and if you want to just watch a disaster movie and you're like, that's why I'm there, I don't care, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this movie, for sure. Hell, I had a lot of fun with this movie. And this is probably gonna be proof that not all movies that get this rating are actually bad. There are no negatives. There are no positives. There are just the opinions. Because San Andreas is definitely a good time if you're drunk. Yeah, now it's a party. Oh, the room's spinning because it's a party. Alright guys, so your favorite disaster movie of all time, what is it? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.